Is it actually possible to storm off with Temur Battlecrier in Standard by drawing our whole deck and dealing ridiculous amounts of damage? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week we are heading to Standard to play one of my favorite decks that I've played in Standard in a long time, and that is Temur Battlecrier combo, Temur Battlecrier Storm. And this deck is absolutely ridiculous. So let's talk about this deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So we are built around Temur Battlecrier, and the way to think about this deck is it is a combo deck. Yes, we have a lot of good mid-range cards, and we do have a legitimate backup plan of just playing our cards and beating down fairly, but what we're really trying to set up is this spectacular combo turn, with Temur Battlecrier being our mana engine. So Battlecrier says, during our turn, spells we cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature we control with power 4 or greater. Battlecrier has 4 power, so by itself, it's a 1 mana reduction, but we're trying to do way more with this. So what do we got to go along with Temur Battlecrier? We have Roaming Throne, which is actually hilarious with Battlecrier because it's a colorless card, which means if we can get at least 4 creatures with power 4 or greater on the battlefield, and I know you're thinking, yeah, 4 creatures on the battlefield, that's not realistic, but I'm going to explain why that's actually super easy with this deck in just a minute. But if we can get 4 creatures with power 4 or greater on the battlefield, our Roaming Thrones become free, which is absolutely absurd. So what we're trying to set up is actually a loop with Outcaster Trailblazer. This is our first big payoff. So Outcaster Trailblazer, we can sometimes plot it earlier, play it for free during our combo turn, is a 3 mana 4/2. When it enters, we make a mana, and when another creature power 4 or greater enters, we get to draw a card. So if we have Temur Battlecrier and at least one other creature with power 4 or greater on the battlefield, our Outcaster Trailblazers also become free. Yes, we gotta spend 1 mana, but then it makes back that mana when it enters the battlefield, so they become free. If we have a Roaming Throne on human, then they actually generate mana, they turn into a ritual because they make 2 mana when they enter and they're gonna be free. So we can play the Outcaster Trailblazer, and then we start drawing cards every time we play a big creature to draw through our deck. Eventually this is gonna lead to Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest as our finisher, but first we have a bunch of cloning effects in Molten Duplication in Visage Bandit, which we can also plot early like Outcaster Trailblazer. So these cards we can use to keep copying our Outcaster Trailblazer or copying our Roaming Thrones, and this is going to let us just draw through our deck. Again, these cards are going to cost 1 mana thanks to Temur Battlecrier, but if we copy an Outcaster Trailblazer, we're going to make that mana back from Trailblazer entering, maybe generate mana if we also have Roaming Throne on human. So these cards just let us copy the Trailblazer, we draw through a huge chunk of our deck, and then eventually what we want to do, after we've drawn enough cards, we want to get a Roaming Throne on Dragon, and then we play Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest, and Dragonhawk says, when it enters or attacks, we exile the top X cards of our library, where X is the number of creatures we control with power 4 or greater. We can play those cards, but we don't really want to play those cards, because at the beginning of our end step, it deals 2 damage to each opponent for each of the cards that are still in exile. So what this means in practice is if we can have 10 creatures with power 4 or greater on the battlefield, and play a Dragonhawk, actually we only need 9, because Dragonhawk's going to count itself, but when it enters, we're going to exile enough cards that we just 20 our opponent on our end step. We exile a ton of cards, go to our end step, we hit our opponent, and I know 10 creatures sounds like a lot, but we can make that way easier with Roaming Throne. If we have a Roaming Throne on Dragon, then we only need 5 creatures, really just 4 because the Dragonhawk itself, and that's going to double trigger the Dragonhawk, so we'll still exile those 10 cards. Then we go to our end step, they all go to the graveyard, we burn our opponent out of the game. So that's really the plan of the deck. Temur Battlecrier, draw our deck with Outcaster Trailblazer and Roaming Throne and a bunch of cloning effects, eventually Dragonhawk to win the game. If we can't win with Dragonhawk, we also got Imidane's Recruiter, which we can just make a big board, cast it for 1 mana, haste up the team, kill our opponent that way. As far as the rest of stuff, we get a bunch of ramp to just speed up the process, and 1 Stormscale Scion, which honestly, I don't even think it's necessary in the deck. I don't think we even used it more than like once or twice, so we didn't use it a lot in the deck, but it is pretty funny because we can make a huge board of dragons. Mana base, pretty straightforward Temur stuff. In the sideboard, we get some graveyard hate, a bunch of removal since there's none in the main deck, Surrak for grindy matchups, Vivian for grindy matchups, Season of Gathering to deal with artifacts and enchantments and more card draw, and that is Battlecrier combo for Standard. And that's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see this beautiful deck in action. This deck is just so incredibly cool, so much fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats tokens, and more over at mtdgoldfishmerch.com. It is Temur Battlecrier Storm time. In this deck, oh my god, I'm hyped for this one. This hand, well, missing a payoff, but double Roaming Throne is good. I feel like Roaming Throne might be one of the most underrated cards in Standard. I feel like people write it off because they think of it as a commander card, but, hey, nice duress opponent. Can't duress a Roaming Throne. But there's so many synergies. Oh my god, that's a Battlecrier. That is that is the card that lets the magic happen. Well, get down the Battlecrier, past the turn. Roaming Throne's getting cheaper. We need to find an Outcaster, Trailblazer, or Dragonhawk. Those are the finishers. But I feel like Roaming Throne's, there's so many cool combos with the card. We saw it with the Silly Horse deck a while ago. Now this deck, hopefully we get to see it pop off on Dragonhawk. Wow, another Battlecrier. Cruel Claw's Ice taking a Roaming Throne's kind of annoying, but at least we got a backup. Let's play the land. Let's play the Battlecrier. This will make our Roaming Throne a little bit free. Roaming Throne, we're going to name Hill. It's either human or dragon. We're going to go human for Trailblazer. Normally, you either want to name dragon to double up Dragonhawk, or you want to name human to draw more with Trailblazer. We draw another land, but this just looks like the janky beats. We're going to get in. Opponent, you can kill something with the slasher. But they also drop to 5, which means our opponent needs multiple removal spells or blockers, or they just die. Well, this was not the combo, but apparently sometimes you just play Temur Battlecriers and beat down, and it's good enough. Roaming Throne beats, the classic. Opponent going to melee Intimidation Tactics. Scoops it up. Well, that was quick and easy. Quicker and easier than I expected. I guess we can bring in a couple Siroks to fight through removal. Maybe the Vivians. Go down maybe an Immodane's Recruiter. Basically just do some trimming. Go down a Recruiter. Maybe a Lumbering Worldwagon. Yeah, Heirloom and maybe a Clone. Run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the draw, doing some Battlecrier storming. Apparently Battlecrier beatdowns based on game 1. The storm is coming, I promise. I promise. That's what makes this deck so cool. We're not just like Temur mid-range. Hopefully you will see the combo potential. Ooh, okay. There's an Outcaster. That's what we're missing last game, is Outcaster Trailblazer. Outcaster Trailblazer, some ramp to get it down early, and a Roaming Throne to double it up. Just don't Cruel Claws heist us too much. Opponent, Dreams of Oil and Steel. Well, the good news is, our opponent probably doesn't know what our deck's up to. The right choice here is Outcaster Trailblazer. That is the card that lets us combo off. I don't know if our opponent knows that that's the right choice. Could be tempted to... Okay, opponent does take the Trailblazer. Oh, well, unfortunately for our opponent, that's another Trailblazer. Well, get down the Llanowar Elves. This is almost kind of like a Plot Storm deck in a weird way. I don't know if you remember, right when Plot first came out, we did like a Plot Storm deck. It kind of reminds me of that in some ways, but I think this is like way more competitive, maybe, hopefully. Cruel Claws Ice, drawing a Molten Duplication. Molten Duplication looks kind of weird in this deck, but it's actually incredibly busted once we start comboing. All right, what are we heisting, Cruel Claw? Now I don't know. I mean, it's probably the Trailblazer again. Yeah, opponent takes another Trailblazer. Obnoxious. Let's play the fast land, and I guess we just get on the Sirach, and maybe we can start drawing cards with Herd Heirloom, maybe? Opponent Schwamp, and so much discard. Deep Cavern Bat, stripping away all of our goodies like a jerk. Well, there goes our Molten Duplication, and a Duress to take the Herd Heirloom. Oh my god, that's so much discard. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to beat you down. Roaming Throne on human actually double triggers Sirach's ability, which is kind of nice. That's another upside of putting it on human after sideboarding. Well, thrown on human, hit you with the Sirach. Worldwagon at the ready, opponent Schwamp, and gonna play our Outcaster Trailblazer. I mean, the good news is our opponents annoyed us a bunch, but they haven't really done anything. Like, they've stolen a bunch of cards from our hand. They've been very obnoxious. I really don't want to attack here. I don't want to lose Sirach or Roaming Throne. Let's play the Worldwagon. Play the Worldwagon, snag us a basic land. Grab a mountain. Oh, boy. And we're just gonna pass. Our creatures are too good to lose here. Opponent. Ooh, white mana, okay. Archfiend of the Draws. That's a big one. Opponent gets a draw card with our Outcaster Trailblazer. Cruel Claw's Heist always impresses me. Every time I run into someone playing Cruel Claw's Heist, I come away from it feeling like, man, I should really play Cruel Claw's Heist more. That card's so good. Even at 2 mana, it's so good. I was hyped about it when they first printed it. Like, a Thoughtseize that can Thoughtseize the top of the deck is so sweet. And now we're finally starting to see it actually take root. Now, opponent gets to draw. Yeah, I don't know how this goes. So we can start attacking with the World Wagon next turn, but we might just die to the Archfiend. We don't really have the ability to kill the Archfiend. We need, wow, opponent, no attacks. All right. We don't have the ability to kill it, so we're going to have to win through it somehow. That Cruel Claw's Heist on the Trailblazer was a big swing. That was a big swing in this game. If we had Trailblazer with a Roaming Throne, oh my god, we'd be in Happy Town. That is another land. Well, let's crew up this lumbering World Wagon. And play the land to pump it. Get in, do a little lumbering. If they want to trade with something, I guess that's fine. If they don't trade, they're taking 7, which is a pretty big chunk. All right, opponent's going to block with the Outcaster Trailblazer. Yup. Man, that Cruel Claw's Heist did so much work. Stole maybe our best card. Use it to block our lumbering World Wagon. And now they get some drain with the Archfiend too. That is awkward. Now, at least they're not drawing more cards. All right, so we need to draw basically Dragonhawk. I think Dragonhawk would be the card that could maybe do it. I think that's the one we need. Opponent, another white source. Gonna go to combat. Gonna hit us for 7. Down to 9. Sure. Passes. We draw a Temur Battlecrier. Well, I guess it's race mode. Gonna hit you. Opponent. Down to 9. Route the Battlecrier. I mean, if we put up enough pressure and our opponent doesn't have anything in hand, maybe we can make them not attack with the demon, and it does run out of oil in 2 turns. Wow, opponent passes. So we can't really attack here. But if our opponent, they have to kill it. They have to top deck a removal spell this turn. That card needs to be a removal. If they draw a removal spell, then they got us, right? Because they attack for 7, kill something, and we take 2 from the Archfiend. If they don't kill us this turn, they die to their own Archfiend next turn. Opponent gets in, hits for 7. Did they top deck? Magic Gods, come on. They obviously didn't have removal the last turns, or they would have been killing our stuff. Looking at the row. Oh, no. Oh, no. Destroy evil on the Roaming Throne. Pays the ward. We draw 2 cards. But they don't do anything, and we die. Oh, my God. I thought they're going to die to their own demon. Well, we're on it back. On to game number 3. We're on the play this game. Ooh, well, we can't keep that one. All right, this hand's fine. Turn 2 Surak, theoretically. Might as well put a Pain land at the bottom. All right, well, land where else. Get our ramp on. What discard do we have this game? Ooh, tap land, okay. That's nice, because that means we get to take down Surak for sure. And then our hand's like, ooh. All right, we're still going to play Surak. Temur Battlecrier is also really good, but I think getting down Surak's even more important here with our hand being kind of light on cards. There's a Cruel Claw's Heist. Well, there goes our Temur Battlecrier. We draw even more lands. Well, smack you for 5 and pass the turn, I guess. Man, these Cruel Claw's Heists are wrecking us. They are wrecking us. Opponent. Gonna kill the Surak. Okay, we draw a Trailblazer, though. That's good. That's good. Oh, and a Dragonhawk. Okay, we're finding our payoffs. Oh, and we have the Molten Duplication. If our opponent just taps down here, next turn's going to be pretty sweet. Opponent land. The problem is, Outcaster Trailblazer puts that trigger on the stack to make a mana. Opponent. I imagine they trade the Dragonhawk. Yup. Oh, passes. Well, in that case, we're going to remain patient. We're going to plot the clone, play another Llanowar, hit you for 1. So the problem is, Outcaster Trailblazer puts the make a mana trigger on a stack, and that gives our opponent a window to kill it before we get any value out of it. What we really need to do is get our opponent to tap down, and then we can Trailblazer, Molten Duplication the Trailblazer, clone the Trailblazer. Then we draw the cards, make all the mana, and we should be able to win somehow. Well, opponent down to 13. I guess we can pressure with the Llanowars, and sooner or later, our opponent might have to do something. Wow, they're going to pay. Okay, there's Battlecrier that only reduces cost during our... And I go, all right, opponent tap down. Well, let's have a... Oh my god, another Trailblazer. All right, we're going to have some fun. Outcaster Trailblazer. Make a green. Actually, let's take red mana. Vizier. Copy the Trailblazer. Draw a card. It's a World Wagon. Make a red mana. Mold Duplication. On Outcaster Trailblazer. Draw 2 cards. Oh, and there's a Battlecrier. There's a Battlecrier too. Oh, we might go fully Storm mode here. Make a blue Battlecrier. Now all of our stuff costs 4 less. We need a Roaming Throne. We need a Roaming Throne. Another Battlecrier. Well, okay, we have another Trailblazer. That's fine. 1 mana. Technically free because it makes back a mana. Draw 4 cards. Oh, there's a Dragonhawk. Roaming Throne? Right, okay. Roaming Throne. Coming down for free. Make the Oh, this is a combo kill. This is a full-on combo kill. Roaming Throne on Dragon. For free. Draw 4 cards. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We'll make a green. Play the Surrak. Draw 4 cards. And... finally, we don't even need to attack. All we gotta do, play the Dragonhawk. 8 creatures, power 4 or greater. Roaming Throne on Dragon. Exile 16 cards. Oh, so beautiful. You shouldn't have tapped out, opponent. That's what you get for Cruel Claw heisting us. We will just exile our deck. And then I think we'll go to our end step. And Domia for roughly infinite. Well... That's Battlecrier Storm. That is the shenanigans that we can pull off once the deck gets rolling. And that was pretty sweet. My god, what a turn. What a turn. 6 lands on the battlefield, that's all it takes. Well, let's just keep doing that. We're, exiling our entire deck. Ooh, 1 land, 1 keep. 1 land, 1 keep. Don't kill the Llanowar elves. I mean, this is a good 1 land, 1 keep, as long as the elves lives. Because then we get to play their... Ooh, Hopeless Nightmare. Okay. Not killing the elf. That's fine. We will discard Molten Well, yeah. I think it's Molten Duplication for now. Land, please. Okay. That is excellent. So we draw the land. So now we can do a little lumbering. And now our mana problems. I mean, our hand might be a problem with these Hopeless Nightmares. But our mana problems are over for now. It'd be nice if we could get down the Roaming Throne. Hopeless Nightmare. Do we have to discard? Yeah, let's pitch the Roaming Throne. Too much discard. Well, play the Heirloom. This lets us play the Heirloom, play the Battlecrier, crew up the World Wagon, and then draw a card off the World Wagon. Roaming Throne would have been nice, but we just don't quite have the mana to do all of this. So get in, grab a land. Well, for keeping a 1-lander, our mana worked out kind of perfectly. See, I'm telling you, 1 land, 1 keep. It always works. another lumbering World Wagon. I'm on it. I'm gonna play a land and a Preacher of the Schism, but I'll bump it up. Oh, and that is a Dragonhawker. Okay. Well, let's start by crewing the lumbering World Wagon. Are they going to trade? Probably. Well, let's get in. Let's get in first, see what happens. Get in with the World Wagon. Grab another mountain. Opponent. Boom, 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 boom. Chump. Now, trample it up. Get in for a couple damage. Draw a card. Lumbering World Wagon down. It's a tap land. So, yeah, let's play the Dragonhawk. Exile Imodane's Recruiter. Actually, you know what? Instead of getting Dragonhawk damage, we can just land an Imodane's Recruiter, get another body. That actually seems fine. Well, I guess we would have been better off playing the Dragonhawk or pre-combat. Well, yeah, and then the Lumbering World Wagon, grab another land. I don't think it really matters. I'm pretty sure our opponent's dead. We went from 1 land, 1 keep to having literally every basic out of our deck on like turn 5 or something. An opponent scoops it up, cannot keep up with the beats, and so removal heavy decks. Surrak comes in, and that might be about it. Do we need removal? Vizier, run like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're gonna be on the draw against Pixie Shenanigans. Well, How about a 0 land, 1 keep? Oh, this sounds kind of rough. Okay. I don't know about Vizier. So Vizier, yeah, there's a hopeless nightmare. Vizier is interesting. It helps with the explosive combo turns. Although I'm not sure it's like super necessary. It might be like worse molten duplication. Opponent, surveil land. Gonna melee temporary lockdown. Yep, and hopeless nightmare number 2. Well, our hopes are fading. That is even more lands. Well, let's play them out and let's plot this Vizier. Vizier can only copy our things, so until we find like a Battlecrier or an Outcaster Trailblazer, there's the Preacher. Ooh, even more lands. Well, play the land. Not going to clone our land or pass the turn. Bonnet, Swamp, and getting in with the Preacher. Gonna draw a card. Well, we will drop to 14. And Unholy Annex, that's a good one. Opponent draws a card. Lumbering Worldwagon, okay. I mean, Lumbering Worldwagon is something, although it's still not a creature that we can clone. And we don't have a creature big enough to crew it. So it's kind of another Vizier in the sense that we really need another... Okay, opponent's going to spend their time exiling. That's kind of fine with us. And hopeless nightmare number 3. Opponent gets and hits us. The problem is this demon's coming, and we don't have a way to answer the demon. Opponent, down to 13, draws a card. We draw even more lands, and yeah, good enough. I feel like we were just cursed that game. We were just cursed to draw every land in our deck. We can bring in a Vivian to blow up the nightmares. Maybe go down the Stormscale Scion, which might be a little bit win more. I don't know if we really need the Storm Dragon, but it is funny. We're not like that. All right, on to game number 3. We are on the play. Oh, can we overcome the infinite discard of Orzhov Pixie? Man. Unfortunately, this Verge does not make green mana on turn 1, or this hand would have been legitimately great. But I think it's still good enough to keep, especially against the Hopeless Nightmare deck, where we don't really want to go down cards. Opponent going to duress, take the Vivian. Well, play the land and the Llanowar. Molten Duplication is good. Not great right now, though. We'd really like another land, especially if they can kill the Llanowar, like with a Momentum Breaker, for example. Land? Ugh, all right, Llanowar. Land would suspend 1 that dies to Momentum Breaker. We need to be able to plot this Trailblazer, play the Worldwagon, something. Pixie. I'm gonna pick up the Momentum Breaker. Replays it, gets rid of the Llanowar. All right, deck. Land, please. Okay, we have found a land. We can plot the Trailblazer. The good news against the Pixie deck is they don't usually have a ton of instant speed removal. Duplication or the Worldwagon? Gonna take the Worldwagon. Found it. Gets and hits us. Speed increasing. Do we go for it? We gotta go for it, right? We just gotta hope they don't have removal. Outcaster Trailblazer. Make a red mana. Temur Battlecrier. Okay, we get to draw a card. We got a shot. We got a shot into another Temur Battlecrier. Well, let's keep the fun going. Molten Duplication on Outcaster Trailblazer. Make a mana, draw a card. And that's where the fun ends. Opponent has a Sun Petal Kirin. All right, little mini combo. Not enough to go fully infinite. Well, get in with the token that's going to go away anyway. Opponent going to block. So they can Momentum Break. I guess we can sack the battle. We need the card rust. We can sack the Battlecrier because we have another one. There's a Momentum Breaker. Removal spell number 50 million. And Pixie to pick up the Momentum Breaker. Come on, no untapped black source. All right. Well, at least we get to keep our Trailblazer, which is big. We draw more useless lands. Well, play Temur Battlecrier. Draw a card. Well, okay. Instant replay. Molten Duplication on the Battlecrier. Draw a card, make a mana. Okay. Make a blue mana, clone for 1 mana, technically free since it's copying a Trailblazer, gonna make a mana, we're gonna draw, oh my god, and that's a Roaming Throne. Wait, we might actually just go functionally infinite now. Roaming Throne on human. Can we keep drawing some action? We get to draw so many cards now. Land. Battlecrier. Land! That is the worst draw 6 I've ever seen. We drew 6 lands in a Battlecrier. All right. Awkward. I guess we can discard a land. I mean, at least we're set up for Hopeless Nightmare. You can Hopeless Nightmare us now, opponent. Go ahead. We will discard a card. That is fine. I mean, we're still in good shape. It's unfortunate that we fizzled. If we hit another, like, Trailblazer or Vizier or Roaming Throne or most of our deck, we do something cool. Unfortunately, we drew 6 and just hit nothing, but, well, discard the land. There's a Hopeless Nightmare. Down to 12. Opponent passes. Well, Battlecrier. Draw a couple of cards. Roaming Throne's so good. Roaming Throne for free is absolutely absurd. But draw 2. Llanowar and Herd Heirloom. Well, might as well play with the Heirloom. If our opponent wants to double block, that is acceptable. Opponent says no. Well, we will draw a card with the Heirloom. It is... Ooh, Surrak. Okay, Surrak's good. Surrak's good. Let's play the Surrak. Draw a couple of cards. There's Dragon. Is there a way we can get down the Dragonhawk? So we make a red with this. How do we get down this Dragonhawk? Dragonhawk just wins us the game. So make a red. Oh, right, we double trigger it. Duh. We should just win. We can Molten Duplication first. We might as well have our fun. I forgot we got to double trigger the mana ability too. Oh, so we are just going to storm off here. From having 6 lands on our draw. That's another Roaming Throne. We just got to not mill ourselves out. But we do want to play the Roaming Throne on Dragon this time. And set up for the greatest Dragonhawker in the history of Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I mean, this is the storm. This is the kill. This is it happening. And Dragonhawker, 9 creatures, power 4 or greater. I think we're literally going to exile our entire deck here. We're going to exile 18 cards to Dragonhawker. Which is definitely our entire deck. And then I think we just go to our end step, Dragonhawker. Triple trigger. And opponent, super dead. And try to pixie us, will ya? This deck's so sweet. We are trying to, I don't even want to say go infinite, because it's not really infinite, but it's kind of functionally infinite with Battlecrier cost reduction shenanigans. Do we keep this? This hand's just clunky. Yeah, let's, ooh, that's, okay. This is much better. This is much better. A little bit slow. No Llanowar or anything, but opponent, Rakdos, eh? Surveil land. Well, we'll play the land and pass. I mean, this hand has a lot of our finishers, which is nice. Well, had. Opponent, Deep Cavern Bat. What do you take here? The Heirloom, since that's the thing we can play next turn, maybe? Our deck doesn't really have any removal in the main deck. Literally none. We have a little bit in the sideboard, but we cannot just kill this bat unless our opponent trades it in combat. Phyrexian, oh, this is the Rakdos deck that won a while ago. Well, Battlecrier is a good card. I mean, I guess we just gotta try to pop off. Yeah, play the Trailblazer. We're gonna take a pretty big hit here from this double striker. Hopefully there's not a Mishra. All right, Tiny Bones is fine. Tiny Bones, we can deal with that. Opponent gets in, hits us for 5. We drop down to 14. Sure. Opponent gonna pass. Do we keep waiting? Let's just wait. Let's play the World Wagon. They haven't had a target for any removal spells. They're leaving up mana. They're Rakdos, so they have a ton of removal. So I assume if we try to do the Trailblazer thing, we're just going to get fizzled. So playing the World Wagon is a way we can kind of play around. We can kind of play around that a little bit. Like, not a ton. Opponent going to hit us for even more. 6 this time. Down to 8. We don't have too much longer we can wait, though. We're just going to die. Ooh, Molten Duplication. What does that mean? Well, we got to go for it because we're going to die. Let's play the Outcaster Trailblazer. Oh, it's at 23. We're at 8. All right, make a mana. You got removal. Harvester of Misery. Oh, make a mana. Wait, can we win here? There's no way. There's no way. So play the battle. Wait. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Play the Battlecrier. Does this work? So what we can do, we can crew the World Wagon with the Battlecrier. Then we can Molten Duplication the World Wagon. It's going to be in vehicle form, but then we can... Oh my God, I think we're going to deal 23, at least here. Oh my God. Oh, this is an insane kill. I can't believe this is happening. All right, Dragonhawk, full control mode. With its enters trigger on the stack, crew another World Wagon. It has haste because of Molten Duplication. Exile 4, so we get 8 damage from the Dragonhawk. Attack, 2 more lands. These are going to be 9/9s. Oh my goodness. Oh my god! What a... Oh, this deck might be busted. That was going horribly. We did nothing all game. Our opponent picked us apart and beat us down. And in the end, the hasty Molten Duplication double Lumbering Worldwagon kill. Oh, this deck can do some things. What a ridiculous kill. I thought we were dead that game for sure. I did not think we had any chance. That game looks so over to me. And they even had the removal to kill the Outcaster Trailblazer. Like, that was through a removal spell. Oh my god. Well, okay, let's bring in a little bit of our sideboard removal. What a win. That's not the full Storm kill, but that is probably a even less likely kill to happen, less likely win. Yeah, do a little trimming of, I guess, our mana stuff. Go down the Storm Dragon, sadly. Probably good enough. Let's try it like that. We're going to be on the draw. This hand, a little expensive, but we got the Pyroclasm if we can find some red. Well, okay. We had a Pyroclasm. Actually, they're going to take the World Wagon. All right. Well, more green mana, more blue mana. Still no red manas. Opponent, land, and Inti. Well, that's another World Wagon. I think our opponent's got the fear of the World Wagon after last game. Last game made us look like we were some sort of World Dragon or Lumbering World Wagon combo deck or something. Opponent, Inti, discards a land. Grows the Inti, finds Alicia. Thankfully, no creatures in the graveyard at the moment. Opponent going to play the Alicia. We draw Roaming Throne. Yeah, we're off to kind of a slow start this game. Perhaps too slow of a start. We will see. Well, Lumbering Worldwagon, grab a mountain. I guess if we draw another land, we can play World or Dragonhawk our next turn. The problem is our opponents, they're being very aggressive at the moment. Like, Inti's up to 4 power. Alicia's 3. That's a tiny bones. Oh, wait, are we actually just dead? I think we're kind of just dead here. I mean, we'll play the Roaming Throne, but this gets a counter. This gets a counter. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we actually just have lethal on board. I mean, I guess we'd live, but we got a chump. I think they just kind of have us locked. Yeah, that was not having that red mana for the Pyroclasm was kind of painful. We really needed that Pyroclasm earlier. Well, bring in one more Pyroclasm. Yeah, our opponent just had the aggro start, and we had the slow start. Well, we'll play first. This hand, not super fast, but at least we're on the play this time, which does help quite a bit. So play the land, pass the turn, found it, land, go. Bird Heirloom actually, I guess I should have played the green source. Ouch. 1 unnecessary damage by playing the mountain, but, well, if we lose by 1, I'm going to blame the Bird Heirloom opponent. Fear of missing out. I'm going to do a little rummaging. Discards an Inti. Well, play the land, and do we just Battlecry? Yeah, let's just Battlecry. Battlecry number 1. How much removal do we got, Rakdos? How much removal do we got? Well, there's 1. Annoying with Affliction. Takes down the Battlecrier and a ton of bones. Sure. Opponent hits us to 17. Well, we're not under that much pressure. Let's do a little Trailblazer plottage here, I think. Dragonhawker's Dragonhawker and Battlecry are both kind of busted. Okay, opponent. I'm telling you that game 1 gave our opponent the fear of the World Wagon. World Wagon here is the card that we care about the least, honestly. We're going to go for it. If we got another instant speed removal spell, we're going to cry in our soup a little bit, but all they do. Opponent. All right. Anoint with Affliction number 2. Well, going to be some salty soup. Let's make a red. Play the land. I guess we'll play Dragonhawker. For 5 full mana. Oh, and there's our Pyroclasm. I guess it wouldn't have been that good here anyway. Well, hit you to 18. Opponent, can we chill with the killing of our creatures? Opponent says no. Go for the throat on the Dragonhawker. Yeah. Just Rakdos doing Rakdos things. Thankfully, they are not especially close to casting our Dragonhawker. Well, ooh, that's another Dragonhawker. All right, well, let's play another Dragonhawker. Sooner or later, they will run out of removal. Oh, man, Roaming Throne. We wanted you too. Can we untap with a creature? Will it happen? Is it possible? Our hopes and dreams, opponent. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Gonna get and hit us. Down to 10. Tiny Bones. Can we kill them this turn somehow? Roaming Throne might... Oh, man, do we have enough mana? Then Roaming Throne costs 2. We put it on Dragon. That's 3 times 2 is 6. That's 12. Actually, I think we actually just win. This deck's so messed up. My God. This is another game where we kind of did nothing. Our opponent's at 16. We've just been getting beaten down and our creatures killed all game. But Roaming Throne Dragonhawker, double triggers. So that's 12 direct damage from us exiling these 6 cards. 5 in the air and Xaxes +1. And you're dead. And I'm telling you, Roaming Throne, the card's so good. It's so good. And we just keep on winning. And we might actually broke it this time. I know I say that we break it a lot, but this time we might actually broke it. All right. It is Battlecrier Storm time. This hand, Dragonhawker is one of our best cards. Herd Heirloom, ramp into the Dragonhawker, see what happens. Well, land and go. This deck's so sweet. This might be my new favorite standard deck, actually. Ooh, Roaming Throw, my God. Okay, this is turning into a nut draw if our opponent does not have discard. Because now we can Roaming Throne on Dragon into Dragonhawker. And as we've seen, that just makes people die. Opponent swamp passes. Well, land, Roaming Throne. Gonna name Dragon. And, all right, opponent. Do you have a Sheoldred's Edict, perhaps? A Liliana of the Veil. Opponent, oh, they're Demiring. Preacher of the Schism. Well, we're going to play land, and we're just going to play a little Dragonhawker here. Exile 4 cards. Hit you for 8 direct damage. Aw. We lose an Outcast. Well, we lost a lot of good cards. Whatever. 8 to the face. Opponent, down to 12. Down to 12. Opponent. All right, going to go for the throat on the Dragonhawker. Now the question is, do they have a counter? Definitely not blocking the Preacher. Opponent passes. Ooh. I think we get him with the Roaming Throne, trample it up to draw a card to try to hit a land drop. I think we're still going to draw a card, even though we don't need the trample. Draw us a card. Opponent goes to 8. We find Llanowar Elves. Well, in that case, I think we're just going to Lumbering World Wagon. This is going to set up for an even better Dragonhawker in the future. All right, it resolves. Grab a basic. Just snag a mountain and play the Llanowar. Pass the turn. I mean, we got multiple ways we can potentially win this now. We have the Immodane's Recruiter, which Immodane's Recruiter, like the haste is really helpful because it lets us win on our big combo turn. The thing is, a lot of times Dragonhawker does the same thing. So I almost feel like maybe we could play one Immodane's Recruiter. Opponent has a cut down for the Llanowar. Sure. Llanowar wasn't a big part of our plans. I mean, it was nice. I'm glad we had it, but it's not a major part of what we're trying to do. Opponent's looking at the Roaming Throne. Roaming Throne's like oddly resilient. The ward helps. Dodge and go for the throw also helps. Like, it actually sticks more than you'd think. Opponent. So Spyglass Siren to crack the map on the Vampire. Hits a land. Plays the land. Getting in. All right, gets in with both. So we will take our beats down to 15. Like, if we resolve Dragonhawker, we win. But do we resolve Dragonhawker? Let's Vizier. Maybe they just don't have a counter. On the Roaming Throne, put it on Dragon. Crew up ye old Lumbering World Wagon. Get in for just a bit. Just a little off the top. Opponents. Ooh, Flood Pit's Drowner. Okay, so I can tap down the World Wagon. What we're really playing towards is... yeah, we're going to get in. If they want to block with their entire team, that's fine. We have another Roaming Throne. Next turn, I think we just play the Dragonhawker. Our opponent, it's looking more and more like they don't have a counter spell. Yeah, might as well trample it up and get a card out of it. Clean up the board a smidge. So opponent stays at 8. We get to draw actually 2 cards. Roaming Throne Herd Heirloom. Even that is the like it synergizes with everything. About it. Sheoldred. Well, Sheoldred's good. But we got a bit of a Dragonhawk situation going on here. Opponent, Sheoldred, drains us to 10. Let's play the land. Dragonhawker. And double trigger. Exile 4. And then Immodane's Recruiter. Just as I was saying that, I don't even know if we really need all these Immodane's Recruiters. Gonna be good here, because now we also get an opponent. Scoops up. We'd also get the attack trigger. And Dragonhawker just kills people. If you have a Roaming Throne and Dragonhawker, people just kind of straight up die. So against this deck, let's bring in Surrak's Witchstalker's Frenzies, maybe some Pyroclasms. Go down, couple of duplications, maybe one Vizier. Go down the Storm Dragon, World Wagon, and what is our last cut? Maybe one Recruiter. Yeah, let's run it like that. That seems fine. All right, on to game number 2 against Temur midrange. We will be on the draw for this one. This hand looks pretty good. Lots of 3-drops. Opponent, Spyglass Siren. Imitating's Recruiter, eh? Hello, opponent. Opponent land. We really would like to try to... Opponent, Deep Cavern Bat. Man, you know what would be a good draw? Pyroclasm. Pyroclasm would be sweet. I really don't want them to put a Kaido into play next turn. And we can't stop that unless we top deck Pyroclasm. Going to snag the Herd Heirloom. Well, that is a Pyroclasm. Okay. Ask and you shall receive. And now we don't got to worry about Kaido. We get back our Herd Heirloom. Bonus. But I mean, we still have to worry about a Kaido coming down eventually. But the difference between a turn 3 Kaido and like a turn 4 Kaido is actually kind of huge. Change the equation on top. Ew, that's... Well, we have the Surrak. It's still kind of annoying. Opponent's going to mill it anyway. Okay, that's fine. Well, play the land. I think we just plot the Trailblazer. Because we could play Surrak to make things uncounterable, but we'd rather play Trailblazer into the Surrak. Wait, did they? Okay, maybe they just drew the Kaido. But the cracking both maps to make it a 3-3, only to pick it up to Kaido is kind of weird. Especially since they left to change the equation on top the first time. So it was like they were trying to intentionally grow it, only to pick it. And they do not replay the Spyglass Siren. Huh. Well, let's see how much we can pop off here. The Temur Battlecrier is interesting. The problem is we're kind of pinched on colors. So make a green. Yeah, the colors... I mean, I guess we can. So we could Herd Heirloom into the Battlecrier. Maybe just Battlecrier Immodane's Recruiter is better. Yeah, let's do that. Battlecrier, draw a card. Haste him up with Immodane. Okay, maybe Immodane's Recruiter is actually pretty sweet. It's going to let us kill the Kaido here. So we get to kill the Kaido, hit you for 8, and that is a... really big, all with 3 lands. We did this with 3 lands in play, 0 creatures to start the turn. And suddenly we have like 12 hasty power and a dead Kaido and opponent. Temur can't stop us either. And this deck might actually just be good. This deck might actually just be really good. We're kind of crushing people in spectacular fashion with Roaming Throne, again, in Standard. My new favorite Standard card. Llanowar into World Wagon. Got a Dragonhawker. Multiplication's not doing much at the moment, but it might do things eventually. Ooh, is it? Let's play a Corpusin Forest and ouch, Llanowar Elves. Go. Are we killing the elf? Not yet. So opponent could be a white mana. Jeskai. Okay, Glacial Dragon. So probably Oculus, I would assume. Jeskai and Glacial Dragon Hunt. No, okay. That's an Oculus in the graveyard. So odds of it being Jeskai Oculus increasing. Relatively confident. Well, land go. We kind of wanted that elf to play our World Wagon. I mean, if they can just reanimate this Oculus here, we'd almost certainly just lose. All right, opponent cannot. So that's a bit of good news. Not dead yet. Well, Lumbering World Wagon. Get our ramp on. Get to our Dragonhawker next turn. I mean, we might still be able to just steal this. Like, if our stuff lives, we can, like, Dragonhawker into Roaming Throne on Dragon. Copy Roaming Throne on Dragon. And I think that means our opponent just dies. Like, if the Dragonhawker sticks around for 2 turns, I think our opponent just dies. All right, Steam Core Scholar, draw some cards, plays a land, even more Roaming Thrones. Play the land, play the Dragonhawk. Oh, I didn't go full control. Ideally, okay, just so you know, the optimal way to do that in that situation is if you go into full control fast enough, you can play the Dragonhawker with its trigger on the stack, crew the Lumbering World Wagon, and then you have an extra creature with high power, so you get an extra Dragonhawker trigger. I did not do that fast enough this time. Found it, looking at the Dragonhawker. I mean, if they can't kill the Dragonhawker, they die next turn. almost certainly with these Roaming Thrones coming. Found it. Sheltered by Ghost. Well, okay, so like, whoa. Opponent deals... People have a big fear of Lumbering World Wagon, don't they? Another opponent that's very afraid of getting smacked by Lumbering World Wagon leaves the Dragonhawk on the battlefield, and, well, let's see if they got counters. Roaming Throne. Counters are removal. Gonna put it on Dragon. And I think we might do a little duplication of the Roaming Throne. And put that also on Dragon. And let's have just a casual little attack here with this Dragonhawker. Casual attack, exile 9. That's 18 direct damage if our opponent can't stop this somehow. They definitely needed to get rid of the Dragonhawker with the Sheltered by Ghosts. Into the flow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, this went wrong for our opponent in a whole bunch of ways. Attempts to bounce the Roaming Throne. Learns a lesson about how Ward stacks up with multiple Roaming Thrones. We will exile 9 cards. Hit you to 6. End of turn. 18 more going at the face. Yeah, the funny thing is I think our opponent could have at least stopped us from killing. I don't know if they would have won the game. Definitely bringing in the Ghost Vacuums for the Oculi. They should have just into the Flood mod the Dragonhawk before detect. I think that's part of the upside of playing a Brew or Rogue deck, is I don't think people understand how it works. If they knew, then they just bounce a Dragonhawker, but we took advantage of the ignorance. But on to game number 2, we're going to be on the draw. Basically perfect. I mean, I guess a little painful with our mana, but other than that, almost the perfect hand. We got the Elf, we got the Ghost Vacuum to deal with Oculus. We now have, wow, multiple Outcaster Trailblazers. This might be a full-on Storm hand. Let's just play the Ghost Vacuum. We could play the Llanowar, but then they'll just torch the tower it or whatever. Next turn, we can play Heirloom into Llanowar, uses our mana more efficiently. Opponent tap land, leaves it on top, passes. Well, land, hurt Heirloom. And then we can play the Llanowar. We really just want to spend a couple turns plotting, ideally. If we can spend a couple turns getting these Trailblazers plotted, like with 2, oh my god, and a Roaming Throne, and we're not really being pressured yet. Yeah, let's just plot. Let's just do the whole plot and pass. Classic plot and pass. How many turns? I mean, if our opponent doesn't pressure us, opponent, more islands, Jace or Reawakened. Interesting. Do not see 2-mana Jace very often. Opponent, gonna do some looting. I mean, if they're still not going to pressure us and a fear of missing out, I mean, I guess it's a little pressure. With the Ghost Vacuum, we don't really got to worry about getting Oculus, at least in the near future. Get rid of the end of the Flood Maw. Do we just go for it? Do we wait another turn? They are tapped down. I mean, Trailblazer into Roaming Throne's pretty good. You know what? Let's just plot it. Let's do another plot and pass. We're going to set up for a really, really good turn. Maybe next turn. Classic delayed gratification. We'll see if it works out. That was a win. Oh, okay. Winter Night Stories. I feel like our opponent doesn't have much interaction. They're just tapping out kind of every turn. So maybe we don't got to worry too much about our opponent actually fizzling our combo. I mean, 2 Trailblazers into Roaming Throne is obscene. Do a little plotting of their own. Opponent's gonna get in, sure. Might as well exile that Winter Moon Stories in case they think about harmonizing it. Is this the turn? Another hurt Heirloom. This has got to be the turn. Outcaster Trailblazer, make a mana. They could have a torch to the tower or something. Make a blue mana. Outcaster Trailblazer. Oh my god, they don't have anything. Make a mana. Draw an elf. Q-man. Draw 4 cards. Well, there's land number 3. Oh, there's a Battlecrier. There, and we can actually play it. Oh, goody. Okay, can we find another Roaming Throne? If we find another Roaming Throne... All right, no Roaming Throne. Well, you get to play a Ghost Vacuum for free. Kill us if you can, I guess. I'm pretty sure we win next. We win next turn. All right. Yeah, all that with... We started that turn with 2 lands on the battlefield. I guess we had some extra sources of mana, but still. This deck can build a big board almost out of nowhere. Opponent, Jace. Glacial Dragon Hunt. So he can kill one of the Trailblazers, I guess. Or actually, yeah, okay, Battlecrier. That makes sense as well. I mean, we have the Dragonhawker in hand, though. Although our Roaming Throne is on human. Let's get rid of the Glacial Dragon Hunt. Opponent, fear of missing out. Little more rummaging. I mean, our opponent's tapped out, though. They can play the Tursa. They can play the Tursa. They're at 20. Can we kill them this turn? If we had the Battlecrier, 100% we win this turn. Without the Battlecrier, we are a little tight on mana. Well, we might as well Ghost Vacuum something. Get a Helping Hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. Well, let's Molten Duplication on the Outcaster Trailblazer. See what happens. It's kind of free because we make back 2 mana anyway. Oh, there's another Roaming Throne. Can we find a Battlecrier? No. Well, blue and red. And yeah, let's just play the Dragonhawk here. If we had a Roaming Throne on Dragon, or enough mana to duplicate the Roaming Throne, then we just win right now. This is still pretty good, though. So we still get, what, 10 direct damage. We can play a land. I mean, this is still pretty good. Play a land, go to combat, swing with everything, and we can Witchstalker Frenzy kill, I guess, Tursa? So I don't think we straight up win. Our opponent can block, take 8, and then take 10. So I think our opponent goes to 2. Actually, no. We only get 8 direct damage. So opponent goes to 4. Opponent's going to double block Roaming Throne. Wait, if you do that, I think you die. Wait, they're going to single? No. Opponent, I think you might have... Did our opponent just choose death? Opponent goes to 8. Yeah, I think our opponent had to block a little more than that. And that's Xaxes and undefeated Temur Battlecrier Storm. This deck is so cool. I absolutely love this deck. So what did we learn this week about Battlecrier combo in Standard? And the deck absolutely crushed it. We went 9-1 with the deck, and we won in spectacular fashion. I know the deck, it looks janky, it sounds janky, but once you start playing with it, the deck actually plays incredibly well. We comboed off so many times with this deck, and one of the things I like about this deck is it's a combo deck, but we really don't have to play a bunch of bad cards, which means we actually have a pretty reasonable fair game plan. Like, if we can't get the combo loop set up, our opponent kills the Battlecriers and the Trailblazers, winning by just like playing some Lumbering World Wagons, playing some random Dragonhawks, and just beating our opponent down, that is something that our deck can definitely do. So it's a combo deck that can also win as a fair deck, which is a good place to be. I will say, as far as changes that I would make to this deck, in general, I'm really happy with where it ended up, although I will say, I think the weakest card in the deck, well, Stormscale Scion, I think is just not necessary. Like, it is funny, it's just a one-of, so I don't say we gotta cut it, but you don't really have to play Stormscale Scion. The one card, though, that I actively kind of want to cut is Visage Bandit. So Visage Bandit, it just felt kind of slow and clunky, and after playing this deck a bunch, I feel like Molten Duplication just does what Bandit does, but better mostly, cheaper mostly. I don't want to cut the Bandits altogether. I might go down to like 2 Bandits, but I'm thinking next time I play the deck, probably cut a couple of Bandits, go up to the 4th Molten Duplication, maybe the, I don't know, 4th Lumbering World Wagon, or maybe put a removal spell in the main deck. But if you like big spectacular turns, and you like casting tons of spells, and drawing your deck, and storming off, and dealing huge amounts of damage, you gotta give this deck a shot because it is amazingly fun to play, and at least based on our 10 matches, way more competitive than you'd think. But that's Battlecrier Storm combo. That's been our Much Brew for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.